Good evening. It's Monday, so that means it's Meditation Monday. And I'm Daryl Gregory. I am a certified meditation coach and teacher. And this is episode 14, 14 weeks of meditating with me on Mondays. Just another thing about that, you don't necessarily have to catch this live, but there is also YouTube. You can get past episodes on YouTube. So if you want to go through the series 1 through 14 so far, you can catch that on YouTube. So, 7 o'clock in the evening on Mondays, I sit here and give a little bit of a Dharma talk, nothing deep, and then we meditate for 15 minutes, silent meditation. So what I want to talk about today is real brief because I've been asked this a couple of times. I have so many thoughts, and they're just rolling around in my brain. And when I meditate, they're just all there, all sorts of thoughts. And one of the best analogies that I have for just looking at it in a different perspective is uh, and this is going to sound trite, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you've heard this before, but clouds in the sky. So we have the sky over our head, the blue sky, the unsullied, no clouds in the sky, right? And that is our constant. That sky is always there, just like our breath. So when we are meditating and we are focusing on our breath is always there. And, like a sky, any type of sky that you travel under, there will be clouds. There will be airplanes. There will be kites, whatever it is that's in the sky, birds. And there are things that are traveling across the sky. And sometimes we have to deal with really thick clouds and dark clouds. And sometimes it's high cirrus nimbus clouds or whatever those clouds are. I'm not a weatherman, but those clouds are there. But here's the thing to think about. Those clouds are moving and they are not permanent. They are not a part of the sky. They are gliding over the sky, and you look at them, you notice them, and they just keep moving on. They're moving. They're not stopping and looking at you. They're not even thinking about you. They're just going across the sky being clouds, carrying water for rain somewhere down the road, right? That's all they're doing. And I think that what happens when we think about our thoughts is that we have this feeling that thoughts are directed at us, that they are doing something to us. And in fact, they're not. They're just like the clouds. They're moving on, going down the road, and just rolling around in our head and traveling on. And if we think about them that way, there's nothing to the thoughts. They're not going to bother us. We realize that they are impermanent, and we come back to the breath. Or in the case of looking at the sky, we notice that when the clouds go by, we get to see the sky again. And it's always been there. It's there when the clouds are there, and yeah. So so when you are getting anxious about how many thoughts you have, and I can't meditate because I just have too many thoughts. What you need to have in the back of your mind is that these thoughts, number one, are not you. Number two, they're not real in the sense that they can't do anything to you unless you follow them and unless you make the choice to act upon the thoughts. So the thoughts themselves cannot do anything to you. And number three, they're going to move on. They are not thinking about you. They are not about you. They're moving on. So have that in your mind as we meditate together right now, that the breath is always there and the sky is always there. And there is always a constant behind that thing that's in front of your face trying to obscure the awareness of the present, the awareness of the now, right? So, and that's where practice comes in, because the more you practice, the less you worry about those thoughts. I hope that helps, because it helped me when I first heard it 20 years ago. It does. All right, so we're going to sit together for 15 minutes. Let's review our three things that we do in order to prepare for meditation. Find a seat. So I'm sitting on the middle part of my chair. My back is not against the back of the chair. Spine is long, neck continues my back, and the crown of my head is going towards the ceiling. My palms are face down on my thighs, and my feet are flat on the floor. My sit bones feel pretty solid, and my front is welcoming and open. And that's my sitting position. You can also have eyes open or eyes closed. I was taught to have eyes open so that it enhances the awareness of the present moment. If I'm closing my eyes, then I'm kind of more in my head. And if I open my eyes, then I'm more in my environment. Yeah. The next thing we do is we notice our breath coming in through our nose and out through our nose. And that is our constant, that is our anchor, that is our blue sky overhead. The third thing we do is we notice our thoughts. We don't try to ignore them. We don't try to get rid of them. But what we don't do is we don't get hooked by them. We don't start to create a story around them. We don't, follow them anywhere. We just let them go. And that's okay. And we come back to the breath. If we notice ourselves getting hooked by thoughts or following the thoughts, we notice it. That's the practice, noticing and coming back to the breath. Okay? All right, so I'm going to start my timer here with my built-in gong. And if you don't want to sit here and stare at me, staring at you, staring at me, staring at you, then you can